Welcome to the Darkstream on VoxDay, voxday.blogspot.com, and Infogalactic News. Nothing too serious tonight. I was just doing a little game dev work. Thought I'd take a break, and actually I need to finish writing out my Mother's Day card. Just a reminder to everybody. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so don't forget your wives and mothers. But actually, what I meant by the another man's face thing was, I thought, oh no, you're not wearing the same shirt. See, this is the sweatshirt. But it is an apt comment about the shirt, because I was kind of amused when we introduced the Mike Cernovich shirt, which has his face on it. And then I think 2 days ago, 2 days ago, we introduced the VoxDay and Supreme Dark Lord shirts, both of which have my picture on it. And what I thought was a little bit both amusing and frankly a little bit weird was some people chimed in with, I would never wear another man's face on my shirt, or only a faggot or loser, blah blah blah, would do that. And it kind of reminded me of the people who have a phobia or something of wearing football jerseys and another man's number on your shirt. Now, personally, I think that look, I don't care. I don't care if you wear my face on your shirt or whatever. But I just thought it was such a strange reaction. And I also think that it's somewhat indicative of a core problem that we have on the right. Now, if you think about it, why does the left wear Che shirts? And what is the point of that? I mean, do they really have this massive affection for Che Guevara? I'm sad to break it to you, but I'm entirely sober. As my wife says, this is one of those please stop sharing moments. It's bad when you're watching Con Air with your wife, and there's the scene where the serial killer played by Steve Buscemi, his name Gaston, something like that. Anyhow, at one point, he's talking about his philosophy a little bit. The whole time, Nick Cage is just looking horrified, and then basically finally says, "Stop sharing. Please stop talking to me." Garland Green, that's it. He's at one point he says, "Shut up," or "Stop talking, Garland." And my wife says, "That's exactly how I feel whenever you start telling me how you think, whenever you start sharing." So that's probably a bad sign, but it is what it is. Anyhow, what I was reflecting on, though, about the whole the dislike on the right, the fact that this would even be an issue for people at all, is the problem that the right has with understanding the use and utility of symbolism. And so, the left they put on Che Guevara shirts because they understand the importance of conveying the message that we are united in this particular ideal. And the reality is that that influences the way other people think. And so one of the problems that the right clearly has is that our instinct towards individualism sometimes tends to counterproductively override our ability to work together. And we see that again and again. We see that time and time again. Look at how many individuals on the right have had great individual success and have been, number one, uninterested in using that success to help anyone else. I think the right in general around the world, but I'm mostly talking about the US. You know, if you look at people like Bill O'Reilly, if you look at people like Glenn Beck, if you look at people like Rush Limbaugh, you know, some of the right's biggest successes, what have they done to compare to what the average lefty who has some success does? You know, so, you know, one of the role models that I like to use, you know, because, and the thing is, I even get criticized. The funny thing is, I actually get criticized for this quite often. Like, why are you always talking up Cernovich? Why are you pushing Stefan Molyneux? Why don't you disavow Roosh? Don't you know that Milo is gay? You know, I don't care. Oh no, Mike is wonderful about it, and I'm sure that Mike gets some of the same type of criticism that I do. I'm sure that Stefan does. And so, but the point is that benefiting other people, and this is something that I learned from Mike. You know, he said that every day you should tell yourself, who is somebody that I can help today? Who is somebody worth helping today? You know, not who is worthy of my fabulous, valuable time. He's saying, go out and help somebody. Figure out someone and help them out. And, you know, I've benefited from that greatly, both from Mike and from, you know, a lot of the great volunteers we have. I mean, everything from the Burn Unit, making Infogalactic possible, to the Techstars, to the proofreaders at Castalia, to some of the assistant editors at Castalia. All of these things help my efforts, and I hope that I am able to help other people's efforts. You know, Castalia isn't just about selling my books. Castalia is there to sell a lot of other people's books. You know, yes, we do. You know, Castalia makes some money from it, but part of the reason that we pay such high royalties is because we want it to help the authors. We want to build up their success. You know, the authors that we publish are people that we want to be successful with or without us. And so, but you know, for me, I mean, I personally have no problem with it. I would, for me, the role model would be Bo, the god of bass, who plays for Baby Metal, and I thought it was awesome. He has this. Look it up on YouTube. It's amazing. He has this phenomenal bass solo when he and 3 of the other Baby Metal members are playing with Takeyoshi Omura, who is a fantastic guitarist, who's probably the lead guitarist in Baby Metal. But they're not it's not a Baby Metal concert. It's Omura's private band. But the 3 of them show up and play, and Bo is actually he's standing next to Omura, wearing a Omura shirt with with Omura's face on his shirt. So all I can say is that if it's cool enough for Bo, then it's cool enough for me. So anyhow, like I said, this was just I had nothing significant to offer tonight. No grand. Actually, I do have one thought that I think is worth discussing. I did a post today on the blog, and I was referencing this football game, European football game, and there's a sick little boy, and he led out the Sunderland squad at a recent game, and he's very sick. He's terminally ill. He's got neuroblastoma, and so he couldn't even walk out to the field. The captain of the team, I think it's Jermaine Defoe, who also plays for England, had to actually carry him out. And it was a big deal. It's the last home game of the season. The little boy really wanted to attend it. His doctors gave him the okay, even though he's in pain. You can see he's still got tubes attached to him and stuff. And it was just it was a very touching thing. It was a very tragic thing, but it was a beautiful thing. And I couldn't believe it, but one or two of these alt-white spurgs jump on it, going, doing their whole shtick about how, well, blacks are bad, and isn't it terrible that so many Africans play for England, and all this kind of crap. Now, the thing is, and this is what's so appalling. I mean, this is why I think that the alt-white is largely retarded. Is that macro is not micro. The fact that it's not good for England, and it's not good for anyone, for the English team to be all Africans or that sort of thing. I mean, those are real problems. Those are large-scale, macro-societal problems. And, but this has nothing to do with an act of love and empathy by one individual for another. It wasn't a point about, this wasn't, nobody was using this as some sort of rhetorical point to justify multiculturalism. This was not, a faked photo opportunity like that drowned Turkish kid that was posed on the beach and whatnot. Okay, I mean, if it happened to be that the relationship between the star striker and this little boy, it happened to be black and white, but when they had this huge banner up, that was put up in the fans, it wasn't about that. And so, but this is a good point. Somebody said here, people are so used to fake sentiment that they've lost the ability to appreciate the real thing. Now, this is true. Remember what I said in SJWs Always Lie. The best rhetoric is based on the truth. Well, that post, that act, that demonstration, that public demonstration of, love and empathy for this, tragic little kid, that is the truth on which the left's fake rhetoric, the left's bullshit about multiculturalism and it's a small world and all that kind of stuff. The reason that rhetoric is effective is because of genuine moments of cross-group kindness and empathy and love. And so, there is a truth to it. That's why it is effective. That doesn't make all such incidents true. It's the same way we find it touching and meaningful when people are overcome with genuine emotion. There's one of my favorite moments in the Red Knight and Black Knight Baby Metal videos is right in the first song in Road of Resistance, right after the big chorus and sing the callback stuff with the crowd and all. You can see that Moa is a bit overcome, and she kind of wipes away a tear as they're about to kick back in with the chorus. And it's meaningful because you can see that, you know, this isn't just somebody who's performing and doing their thing. You know, it's somebody who's emotionally affected by the fact that they're, you know, it's their first time on a stage that big in their home country. It's a huge moment. And so we like to see that stuff. You know, we like to see, but that's why there's all the fake shit. That's why there's all the fake stuff. That's why whenever they're trying to manipulate you in the media, I mean, every single time you see, you know, like they anoint some woman a bishop or something, or they declare that, you know, gay marriage is legal somewhere. You always see tears. I'm crying. So-and-so was crying. Blah, blah. What they're trying to do is they're trying to simulate. They're trying to trade on the real sentiment by substituting a fake sentiment for it. I don't think that the goal is to inure us to the real sentiment. I do think, I think they're trying to trade. I think they're trying to substitute. They're trying to get us to feel like we do about the fake thing the way we do about the real thing. And so it's a substitute. It's a, like you said, it's a simulacrum. So, no, there were no videos on this. It was just like one or two commenters, one in particular who was digging himself in. But you know, the thing is like I said at the time, you have to learn to distinguish the micro from the macro. Okay, the fact that there is one incident, you know, the fact that there's one incident, that there's one individual, whatever, says nothing for what international policy should be. It says nothing for what macro society. I mean, you know, this is the example that I usually give to people is that if I am arguing for interest rate policy on the basis of my personal mortgage, I am not making a serious case. You know, and in the same way, if you are making a case about immigration or integration on the basis of one interaction between one person of one race and one person of another race, you are not making a serious case. It doesn't have anything to do with it. You know, a single economic transaction is not an economy. A single person's situation is not a basis for economic policy. I don't know who they is, but they do that. I understand that some people do that. MPAI. Most people are idiots. Okay? I expect more out of my commentators. Okay? I'm not the New York Times. I'm not Fox News. Anecdotal evidence does not prove a point. Well, it depends what the point is, really. But anecdotal evidence is useful to explain a point, but it doesn't conclusively prove anything. It merely indicates that something is possible. You know, if somebody says X can never happen, and somebody else says here is anecdotal evidence of X, then that does make the point. But so what if the left does it all the time? The left does it all the time because they're stupid. If they weren't stupid, they wouldn't be the left. But the point is, in intra-right communication, there should be no communication of that sort because it's so ridiculous. Okay, and again, you know, I don't expect I understand that, you're going to get that sort of thing from somebody who gets their news from CNN and MSNBC. I just expect people who are commenting on my blog not to make such fundamental and intrinsic logical and conceptual errors as that, especially if they're addressing them to me. So, no, it wasn't a left-wing troll. So why aren't people on the right getting into fights with the left? They do all the time. I don't know what you're talking about. You can probably find over 100 of my interactions with the left. You can read several of my books. SJWs Always Lie is born out of my interactions with the left. And so, and certainly folks like Cernovich and so forth are engaged with the left all the time. So anyhow, that's all I have to say. But if you decide that it's okay with your moral principles and your grasp of masculinity and so forth, to wear a man's face on your chest, you can certainly find them at Dark Lord Designs and Crypto Fashion. I've been on Stefan's show many times, so I don't. Oh, do Stefan's shirt. I talked to him about that. I don't think that he's. For various reasons, I don't think that he is going to be able to do that. But we would love to do a Stefan. I'd love to do a Stefan shirt that says "Not an Argument," or something like that. But anyhow, we will get there one day. So have a good weekend. Don't forget Mother's Day tomorrow, and I doubt Star Citizen will ever be released. So have a good evening. We'll speak to you soon.